Hey guys, I'm here with our first sponsor, a book I can't recommend enough, Healthy Made Easy, written by Mitchell Thompson. We've had him on the show. He's the owner of Self-Sustained Training. Great guy. He's given us a book jam-packed with so much information on diet, the effects on the body, what we should be eating. I can't recommend this book enough. Like I said, if you need a guide to starting a healthier diet, living healthier, this book has everything you need to start out. Easy read, jam-packed with information. It's available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Be sure to head over, follow Mitchell Thompson. He's on Instagram, all platforms, Facebook, everything. Check out his documentary. That as well is very eye-opening. Issues in our medical field, how beneficial a healthy diet is. I want to appreciate everybody for supporting the show. And go check it out. Dude, I was going to say, though, your workout ones, dude, are badass, man. Like, I don't know.
Thank you.
Like, I don't know. It makes every time I watch them, dude, I'm like, fuck, I want to lift right now, dude.
All right. Start lifting. Hit
dude,
me up.
I'm being serious, man. When did that start, like, becoming into, like a big thing? Like, because it seems like you've got quite a bit of clientele, that are hiring you for that.
In the fitness world?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the fitness world is what started me off, officially. I mean,
really?
Back a year ago, over a year ago now, it was just my 1 year anniversary of my business, just about 2 months ago. But about a year ago, I started filming with my phone, my Google Pixel 7 Pro.
Nice.
And all because a bodybuilder named John Ott, or Ott Smash, he reached out to me, and we were like, let's work. At the time, I didn't have a camera because that was still the phase of me transferring from the type of editing that I used to do, just editing. And then now all of a sudden I'm actually getting the footage.
So you started out just editing.
Back when I was 7 years old,
What?
I started, well, technically I filmed, but like with this little, I don't know if you know what it is, but there was these little cameras. They were like rectangular, really skinny, and little silver buttons right there, and a little screen that flipped out.
Really?
I had one of those cheap little plastic cameras, right? I sat down, and I was just a 7-year-old being a 7-year-old.
You're telling me little 7-year-old Joseph was just editing videos?
Well, I showed my grandma, my grandpa, and my mom every weekend, and it ended up becoming a thing. Like, they would want to watch these videos. So like, okay, let me start making more.
What were you editing? Like home videos or like family videos?
These were just me. Just me being stupid,
Oh.
jumping around in my room.
Yeah,
I mean, they were just a 7-year-old doing stupid things. Well, that was me then. Then whenever I was 10 years old, I started actually editing gaming videos for YouTubers and gaming organizations.
Oh, that's dope.
Whenever I was 12, I actually started getting paid for these gaming videos. An organization actually hired me as lead of visual effects at 12 years old.
Nice.
When there was like 30-year-old men that were below me at the time.
You're 12 years old.
I was a 12-year-old.
It's insane.
Whenever I was 14, I started getting more creative with my work. I started my own YouTube channel. That's a long story in itself. Started my own YouTube channel.
We're here for a while.
And after that, I got into making my own gaming content because I was a big gamer around that time. Whenever I was 15, I started taking photos. Got one of my first photos published by a magazine. I believe the name was Whispering Prairie Press. Okay. And after that...
Whispering Prairie? What is that?
Whispering Prairie Press is a youth magazine.
Oh, okay.
From Kansas City. And then whenever I was 16, I started getting into more advanced kind of photos and a little bit of video, but just on my phone. Whenever I was 17, we're getting to the recent dates. Whenever I was 17, I finally got into, getting back into the world of creation. Because from the years 15 through 16, maybe starting 14 to 16, I kind of like held off a little bit. I still created, but I didn't create nearly as much as I used to. That was mainly because of some personal things that were going on. And at the time, it just didn't seem it didn't seem right. It didn't
Yeah.
seem like it was going to become anything.
Hmm.
Yes, I had a moment where I lost faith.
Really?
My mom was like, "Why did you ever quit?" I mean, like, I don't. It was just some stuff that happened. And whenever I turned 17 was the time where all of this started coming back, all my talent, all of my passion, because of one person, John Ott, the bodybuilder who we ended up speaking, and he was like, let's make a video. I never actually filmed a proper video before. And I was like, you know what? I haven't done this in a while. Let's give it another try.
Where'd you meet him at?
I met him on Instagram. Well, no, technically I met him at a fashion show.
Oh, okay. And
then from there we connected, and because I've been a model and an actor since I was 5. So again, I've always been in this artistic world.
Yeah.
So after that, whenever I was 17, we got this going, this video. I walked into the gym acting like I knew what I was doing. At the time, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I had a phone. I had an artistic eye. Now it's time to try and bring this together.
Yeah.
The video actually came out fantastic. People did not believe I was filming on a phone because, well, it looked that good. And let me tell you, it's about the editing. The editing that I knew was able to create this phone footage and turn it into something cinematic, like a cinematic masterpiece. And from there, people were like, I want one. I want one. It just a domino reaction.
What phone was it? Do you remember?
Google Pixel 7 Pro.
Oh, shit.
The current phone's sitting in my pocket.
Oh, still in your pocket to this day.
Yeah, I'm loyal to it. This is my baby.
Okay, so you're an Android.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah. Oh,
Android
God.
user.
iPhones.
No blue bubble.
no, I'm all the green bubbles.
Yeah.
I'm not into that iPhone jazz.
Do you say the camera's better than iPhone?
Oh, God, yeah. It's 10 times better.
Really?
The majority. I used to be a Samsung kind of guy. Then I discovered Google Pixel, and I was like, what have I been missing out on?
Yeah.
Way better camera.
I think it's just so hard once you're like iPhone. It's hard to like switch over. But maybe that's a lie. Maybe they've just been telling us that.
It is all in your head.
Really?
Because once you switch to Android, you'll be like, wow.
What have I been doing this whole time?
I've just been lied to my whole life. I've been paying so much for something that gives me so little.
Yeah, I know. I used to say all the time, like iPhone pretty much updated their camera pretty much every new phone. That's about it. But sounds like they didn't update it that much because yours is a lot better.
It barely changed.
Really?
They made it sound like it changed. It barely changed. Maybe they added cinematic mode.
That's crazy you say that, though. You started with your phone because I hear that a lot. It's like you don't need like fancy cameras or equipment. You know what I mean? Like just start. And we were just talking about that before we started. You know, I dealt with the same thing. Like I just overthought my podcast so much. And I had a podcast prior, and, you know, that took even a while to start. And then, you know, you want to make everything so perfect, but then you remember, you're like, just throw it out there and see what happens, you know, and it'll slowly get better. And that's kind of what I think I've seen in my work. I'm sure you've seen that in your work as well.
I've seen that plenty times in my work. I've held off on posting for a while just because I'm trying to perfect all these videos and just release my videos. Nothing personal. And then during the times of me working with multiple brands such as Ralph Lauren and Body Armor and social media influencers and a lot of like-minded business minds, they've taught me a lot, both with life experience and social media engagement, like social media managing. I realized I need to start posting more about me, more about who I am, who's actually making these videos. And ever since I started doing that, my follower count has substantially gained. Yeah. And people have hired me more. And along with that, I assume it just makes people feel more comfortable because they know who they're hiring. Yeah. And I take pride in myself to be a fun, energetic, and caring person. And that goes the same when it comes to my shoots. I love to make people feel comfortable, make them feel like they're ready to work. And I don't want this to feel pressured. I don't want it to feel like you're on a strict time frame. I don't want you to feel like this is some corporate commercial. I mean, I may have my own personal deadlines. Yeah. I'm going to try my best to keep that separated from you.
Yeah.
So my work is something that I try to make unique.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah. Engaging, and an overall experience. Not just, especially when my clients, they're reaching out to me for business inquiries. I'm like, let's make this more than just work.
Yeah.
Let's make this a genuine experience
Mhm.
that'll overall result in a better product. Because when someone's comfortable, excited, what does it do?
And you'll want to do it again too.
There you go.
That's a big thing.
And that's just me. I mean, I'm not trying to fake anything. I'm just this type of person. And I strive to make people feel comfortable and want to come back. And whenever they talk about me, like, oh, that guy Termini Media, he's a great guy, genuinely. But he's also really good at the camera.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I always believe that's how it should be everywhere. Like even at work, just a regular 9-to-5 job. I wish they would have that same concept. Make it fun.
Yeah.
You know, we got to do this for 30, 40, however long you're going to do it for. Let's make it fun. You know, and then people want to come back. They won't mind waking up in the morning and going to work. Just like you hold your company to that as well. You know, let's make the energy fun in the room so everyone's enjoying this and not going, oh man, like we got to do this. Like I don't want to, like it's all overall fun experience. So I think that's a good way. Keep that going. Don't lose that, because I think that gets lost in time because you're gonna have to deal with assholes. You're gonna have to deal with tight deadlines. You're gonna have to deal with all the bullshit, and it's gonna wear you down. But don't lose that, because I think if you can stay that way, like you'll bring a lot of people to you. You know what I mean?
And someone just recently mentioned this to me. They mentioned that it's not work until it becomes work.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I have experienced the work portion of it.
Have you? Already?
Yes. I mean,
at this young of age already.
I've experienced the work portion of it when it comes to staying up 12 hours working on one video until the sun is risen and I hear the birds chirping at me, telling me to get off the damn computer.
Yeah, it's hard.
So it's become work to an extent, but not something that I don't enjoy.
Do you have ways to kind of make yourself enjoy it? Like, what do you do? Like, do you do things like do you take intervals, like where you'll edit for 30 minutes and then maybe give yourself a little reward and then go back? Like, do you do stuff like that, or do you just grind?
Well, the editing is the reward.
Oh, okay.
It may be hard to
like you're trying to see the end product.
It may be hard to believe that for some people, but especially in the editing world. But the editing is the reward, and the final product is the ultimate reward.
Right.
So when I'm editing, there will be certain times where I get quote unquote edited out because I'm tired. And I end up going to bed, and then the next morning I'm like, what did I just do to this video? Okay, let's restart here, because it becomes a cycle in which, okay, you have the footage, let's look at it. After we get the footage, you start putting it all together. And once you start seeing this building piece by piece, all of a sudden it's like I'm creating an art, something that I can genuinely enjoy myself after it's finished, along with my client. So it's fun to me to create, even whenever it's work. Like it's a lot of work, just because I'm thinking to myself, well, once this is done, I'm going to render it. Well, watch the rendering bar for a couple hours, and then boom, I'm going to watch it on my phone. I'm like, wow, I did that. I am proud of it. It's fun. And I satisfied a client. And so far, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
I have had not a single unsatisfied client.
That's good.
And that's 1.5 years, 1 year officially being in the business.
Yeah.
But let's say 7 years editing videos, I've never had a dissatisfied client.
And what's your company's name?
Termini Media.
Termini Media. Okay. And is that your last name?
That's my last name. And my full name is Joseph Termini.
Okay.
And I created Termini Media. Got to represent my grandfather's Italian heritage.
For sure. Yeah, it's not a name I've ever heard, like a last name I've ever heard before.
Well,
also, we didn't plan the matching colors here. I did not know he was going to wear these colors. So,
well,
he may have stalked me. I don't know. Well, we don't know.
We don't know. Nah, but I just recently got...
No, I seen you walk in. I was like, oh, dude, I just threw on this shirt, literally. I was like, what shirt haven't I worn on the camera yet? Because I wear plain tees all the time. So I'm like, let me just grab this one. And I forgot, you do wear that bandana with the Italian colors on it.
Yep.
So.
Right now I'm rocking which you can't see on the camera, but behind there it says Termini Media.
Oh, that's dope, dude.
Yep. And Italy right here, hardcore Italians right there. Yeah. I make sure I show pride in my grandfather's heritage because he came to America when he was 9 on a boat from Sicily Cefalù, Sicily, Italy.
Really?
Yeah, and he went from New York to Chicago to here.
How did he end up here?
He ended up here because he found work here.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
usually everyone's story.
Yeah, the 3 Italian hubs: New York, Chicago, and Kansas City.
Yeah, I had a guy on. He was an undercover cop, and he did. He investigated, like, told me a bunch about like the mob and the mafia down in what is that the North End?
The North End,
yeah, and stuff like that. He came on a long time ago, but it was very interesting hearing about some of the stories. Of course, that doesn't represent the entire Italian population in Kansas City, but it was interesting.
It was a thing.
Yeah, it was a thing. It was interesting, and I
like
like that spot. Like they got a restaurant down there. I think it's called the North End.
It used to be. They did close it.
Oh, they closed it?
They closed it with some sort of the wolf thing. It has a wolf on it. I don't know.
Oh, so it's a different restaurant now?
It's a different restaurant now. I think it's a bar and lounge.
That was a cool restaurant. I ate there one time.
I had
pretty,
a couple parties there.
It was a pretty neat place. Because is there any other like Italian spots here in Kansas City? Like,
I would say Garozzo's.
Okay,
100%.
Where's that at?
That's in... it's near the North End.
Northland? Oh, North End? Okay.
Yeah. And Lydia's. That's another really good one.
Okay.
But for anyone who thinks Olive Garden is a good Italian restaurant, I have some dislike. Okay, I'm sorry, but we got a problem.
Hey man, I like Olive Garden. I ain't gonna lie. But
There's one.
I'm never gonna say I'm gonna go eat Italian food.
There's one good thing: the chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo.
That's really good.
You can't go wrong with that. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah, so what is that like? Kind of the big Italian area? I know that like Northeast area.
The Northeast area is like Little Italy.
Yeah. Okay. So your grandfather came from New York to here. That's pretty cool. Is that and the majority of your family still here in Kansas City?
Yes, majority. His extended family still lives in Italy. Well, Sicily, Italy, and specifically the city called Cefalù. That's actually the home of The Godfather. Really? Have you ever watched The Godfather movie?
Yeah, I love The Godfather, dude. That's like my Thanksgiving time movie. For some reason, for a long time, The Godfather would always come on around like Thanksgiving, Christmas time on TV. I don't know why, but I would end up turning it on and watching it. It was actually, one of my favorites. I don't like very much the third one, but first and second are cool.
I can agree. The third one was good, but it was just a little... I'll say too much.
Yeah. I'm more of a story guy, That's what I like. But, no, man, that's dope. But yeah, your workout videos, pretty dope. Are you still doing those?
Yes.
Okay.
I just recently, one of my most recent fitness videos was a campaign ad for Body Armor.
Oh, really?
And featuring the social media influencer and online fitness trainer, Jameson Lane.
Oh, okay.
And he is a really great guy. I mean, we work together like bread and butter. Mm-hmm. It has been a great experience working with him. Mm-hmm. He's taught me a lot in the social media world because, again, I'm very young.
Yeah.
He has almost 250,000 followers. Yeah. So he knows a lot.
Yeah, those guys are smart, aren't they?
Oh, he's smart.
Yeah, I got a guy named Mitch. He's been on here before, and he'll text me, helping me out, and he actually sponsors the show, and he always tells me, like, what do you got to do to gain followers and likes? And there's so much to it, but I told you earlier, I'm kind of bad at that stuff. I'm trying to progressively get better. I'm not one to share all the time, and I try to throw stuff out, but, there's only so much time in the day. Maybe if it was my full-time job, maybe I'd be able to do it. But, yeah, it becomes definitely a handful. You know how it is, so...
Yeah, I'm still getting used to really pushing this out because, again, I never really knew much about getting my content out there than just posting.
Yeah.
But when all of a sudden you see these different tips and tricks, it starts getting overwhelming. And having people like Jameson has taught me a lot in just simply straightforward information to get my work out there.
Yeah.
And that's another really good thing about when I work with people, especially someone like Jameson, is... we work together very well to the point where it becomes more than just work. It's a genuine friendship that we've built, a business relationship and friendship. That's so cool. If I ever have a question now and I'm like, hey, what do I do to get this to do this?
Yeah, he'll help you
I'll
out.
just go ahead and text the guy. boom, he helps me right there. Same thing goes for me. If he has a question, because he edits his own videos as well. Mm-hmm. So if he has a question about editing, I got him.
Yeah.
So we've built this connection between client and artist that is beyond just work. And I do that with a lot of my clients.
Yeah, that's neat. And I like too, like your angles. Like when I watch some of your videos, like it's like you'll be peeking around a door or something, like, or in between stuff. And
yeah,
I think that kind of gives it a lot of like just character. I don't know what word to use for that, but it's neat.
I am not the guy to simply have my camera straight up and down.
Yeah.
Like some people don't like it. Some people do. My personal preference when I'm not being controlled to the T, I'm like, I'll be going up, down, left, right, every single ounce of geometry you could ever put into
that's cool.
Positioning my camera. That's what I do. Like most of my videos, if you'll notice a trend, most of my videos come into a slightly right tilt.
Yeah. I notice you have a feel to yours. Like when I see it, I know it's yours.
Yeah, and that's another thing, because a lot of these videographers, and everyone has their own strengths. But my specific unique trait with my videos is a tilt. And you'll notice from a lot of other videographers in Kansas City, it's more straightforward. But when you all of a sudden come across my videos, it's either tilting to the left or it's tilting to the right. It's so simple, but it's so different at the same time. Like it's something that no one really notices, but you notice at the same time.
Yeah. Do you like pull that creativity from like people you look up to in the photography world?
I mean, not really.
Yeah. You don't have anyone like you're like, this is who I look up to for like.
I mean, I've had some in the past, but when we're getting down to honesty, I have always been self-taught. I have never been taught by anyone.
Yeah.
This is all me learning myself.
Sure.
I've barely even watched YouTube videos to learn what I'm doing. Definitely have to start getting into that now. I'm getting more advanced.
Yeah, to get better, like on the editing and all that.
Yeah. But really, I mean, I am my own competitor. I mean, I am competing with myself. I don't think, oh, well, this guy's better than me. Oh, this guy isn't as good as me. This guy's work is not the greatest. This guy's work is so much better. I don't think that way.
Yeah.
First of all, there's enough room for all of us to succeed. Second of all, I also believe that I am obviously my own worst critic. I strictly try and make sure that I see my work, I look at my past work, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do this one better. Yeah. And then I look at my next video, I'm like, oh my God, this is the best video I've ever made. So I'm looking up to myself to continue to grow myself, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but you know how everyone has someone like, just like my podcast, everyone's like, who do you kind of pull from? There's a handful of podcasts that I look to that I see stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's neat. Like, I kind of want that for mine. And you kind of cherry pick and kind of add to your own. So I didn't know if there was like a photographer out there, a couple of them that you're like, I love their work. Like, I'm not, maybe that you don't pull anything from, but gives you inspiration or, whatever to do what you do.
Yeah. I know a photographer. I know a photographer. He's a fantastic Kansas City athletic photographer. His name's WBC Visions. And he is a showstopper when it comes to sports photos. And I've worked with him many times. We still work together and plan on many other projects together. Because photographer and videographer go hand in hand. For sure. Again, I am a photographer as well, but I specialize in videography. Oh, okay. But WBC Visions is definitely someone, if I were to be strictly going into photography, I'd be looking up to him.
What made you choose the videography route and not photography? I mean, I know you say you still do it, you dabble in it, but what made you kind of lean that route?
Well, my whole life has been video.
Right, okay.
So that's like where the passion started, creating a story through a lens,
right,
and being able to bring something to life through my camera and just putting like different pieces of a puzzle together, and then finally the final product, boom.
That's dope. Yeah. And what do you use? Like, what's your camera, your go-to? I'm sure you have a couple.
Well, actually, I only have one camera.
Really?
Yes, and it's a very big upgrade from my phone. Very big upgrade. It's the Canon R5C. Okay. So the cinema line of the R5, because there's the Canon R5, then there's the Canon R5C. That's more tailored towards cinema.
Oh, okay.
And I got it because it's Netflix approved. So, hey, if Netflix ever reaches out, all right,
Netflix approves certain cameras?
Yes, they have a list on their website. You can go, to their cinematography portion, and you find different cameras that have the Netflix approval.
Really?
So it's good enough to be used on one of their projects.
For quality purposes.
Quality, the amount of color that you can siphon out of the footage. So like 10-bit, 14-bit, 15-bit, all of that.
Damn. I didn't know that.
And the resolution, of course. But
oof, what's the price tag on those cameras?
Well, mine when I got it was $4,000.
Oh my God.
And that's not even including the lens.
Everybody, this
is
why. Yeah, this is why I have my cameras I have. There's $100 a piece.
and the camera,
they give enough good quality where it doesn't look that shitty, but it's still a little grainy. You know, it's all right.
But the camera that I was considering getting is called the C70, and that was ranging into the $5,000 to $6,000 area.
Oh, really?
But thanks to my mom, she went to credit card debt for me.
Oh shit!
And got me the Canon R5C.
That's a good mom right there.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
My goal one day is to be able to bring her to a jewelry shop and say, get whatever you wish. Yeah. Because she deserves that and a lot more.
Awesome. Is she doing okay?
Yes.
That's good.
She's doing good.
That's good. Because she helps you with your business, correct?
Very much. She's my
momager.
Other than
helping the finance side, but she helps manage and stuff?
Yeah, okay. She is my momager.
Momager. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
She helps me. Like, there's a big portion of my clients that she's gotten. Like, there's...
Oh, so she's kind of doing the...
So when I'm stuck editing or filming and I have so many things going on, I have like a second me reaching out to people, handling conversations, booking people. So like we work hand in hand together in a perfect symphony, like, and especially when it even comes to editing. She's an artist herself, an abstract artist.
Oh, nice.
And like she'll be watching my videos. And again, sometimes I get edited out. So sometimes I don't see things that she doesn't see. So she'll be watching and be like, oh, that could be changed. Oh, what if you do this? What if you do this? And all of a sudden, my video goes from, well, obviously good, but now it has this second pair of eyes that can make it even better.
Yeah.
So we work together perfectly. It's like a symbiotic relationship.
I always worry about that too. Like when I'm editing my stuff, I'm like, I hope I caught everything. And I probably don't, but that's nice.
That's a scary thing.
Yeah, that's nice.
Did I press the record button?
Yeah, you ain't lying. And I talk about some crazy shit on this podcast. Of course, I don't edit anything out. My more worry is like camera angles. Like I'm more worried about like if I forget to switch cameras and I'm stuck on you and you're just kind of sitting there gazing or, just
hello camera.
Just caught in the, how you get stuck sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope I switch the camera on that, or I hope it doesn't blank out and go black on the screen. So, but yeah, it's a, 2 or 3 hour edit, you're bound to miss something. So that's cool that you guys are kind of a team, Yeah. And I'm guessing she probably, since you were 7, has been kind of supporting you since then, pushing you to kind of follow your passion.
Yeah, she has been, quote unquote, pushing me to follow my passion ever since I started it.
It's awesome.
I mean, there's a point in which someone can push too much and someone can push not enough. She pushes perfectly.
That's awesome.
Anytime that I am personally slacking and I need a pat on the back to get going, I need a little jump start on my engines, she's there. Anytime that I'm overwhelmed, she's there. Anytime that I need someone to talk to in general about my business, she's there. Because not only is she a mom, but she's a business partner. Yeah. And she can handle both of those things perfectly. That's cool. To the point where I don't think I would be where I am today if it wasn't for her and her help. That's because awesome. I mean, I know I'm a business guy. I mean, I started my first business when I was 6, called Joseph Termini's High Quality Cleaning Service. And I would clean my grandma's rooms for $10 a piece. So, funny. I mean, I've always been trying to win the dough.
Trying to go the entrepreneur route, huh?
Yeah, entrepreneur for sure.
That's cool. And I remember you said you were doing video games too. What were you playing back then?
Oh, that was a lot.
It's like Call of Duty, or what were we talking here?
Well, let's start. I started off with Minecraft. That's the real young days. Start off with Minecraft. Minecraft led to Halo.
Okay.
Halo was the bomb.
Halo was still popular then, because I know Halo in my day was kind of popular. I mean, we're about
Halo in our day.
We're about 14 years apart.
Yeah, but it's technically our day.
Yeah.
It was around whenever I was young. That's when it first came out. Around then, it started building up more to its more popular era.
I mean, you would have been pretty young, because I remember when I was in high school, everybody was playing Halo.
Yeah, it got popular.
Never got into it though.
The mid 2000s, and that was my all-time favorite game.
Yeah, I was more of a Call of Duty guy.
Halo Reach as well. Oof.
Halo Reach.
Yeah, Halo Reach was the best, and Halo 5 was just like.
Yeah.
But modern Halo is just ass.
Really?
They ruined it.
I
Then
didn't know they were still coming out with them.
No,
Yeah.
they did. And then from Halo, it went to Call of Duty. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was like my main.
Yeah,
In my
Black Ops
opinion,
2
that
was
was the
tight.
best Call of Duty.
Zombies.
Yeah. That was my pinnacle of gaming. Like, I
Yeah.
loved Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was something to get used to.
Yeah.
And then from there on, they started, getting more into the paywall stuff and just modernizing their game.
Modern, yeah. I didn't really dig the modern stuff.
And Cold War was but it just wasn't.
Cool.
It wasn't Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Hey, they're making a Black Ops 6.
Are they?
Yeah. They took 2 years off of making a Black Ops because they promised they were going to take more time to work on their games.
I'm trying to remember the last one I played. It might have been Black Ops 3. That was the last one I played.
Yeah, and then Fortnite. Fortnite was another big one that I grinded out like
Never got into it.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Then,
a lot of people still play. I mean, there's people out there that are making a lot of money playing that game.
Yeah, I know. But every time I try to get back into it, it's like, what?
Yeah.
What happened? Why is this so complicated?
Yeah.
Like, this used to be a simple, fun game, and now all of a sudden, it's a little too different in my opinion. But
Really?
I mean, that's kind of what happens when you're young, and then all of a sudden you're old to something, and you don't want to learn it. And I've realized because eventually I'm gonna be an old person, and whenever old people or the older generation, let's say they don't know how to use phones, it's because it changed so much they didn't have interest in learning it anymore.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Fortnite. It changed so much I don't have interest in learning it anymore.
Yeah.
So it works the same way in different ways.
Yeah.
And then the last game I started playing was Rocket League.
I think it depends on like how needed it is in your life. Like I can understand someone like you should probably learn how to work a cell phone because you're probably going to need one.
Nowadays. Yeah,
But video games, it's kind of like, do I really need it? Not really. I miss them. I wish I would play more. Just time is hard. Rocket League though, I used to play Rocket League.
Rocket League is still fun.
Still fun.
There's new maps and a couple of new game modes.
And then you would think a game with cars and a soccer ball. Like, what the hell?
Doesn't make sense, but
doesn't
it's
make
fun
any sense.
As hell.
Doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah,
I guess Overwatch was something I played a little bit when they made Overwatch 2.
Yeah, I liked the Battlefield. Battlefield was dope.
I've never played that.
Really? That one was fun. I like they went a little like too far back on the one that I used to play. It was like World War II type guns, and those are all right.
They're cool, but
I'm more like if you're gonna go old, go like Vietnam style guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can dig that, But once you start going a little too far back, you get like 4 rounds and you got to change a mag. That shit sucks. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. But yeah, I miss those days, man. It used to be fun. You up to like 2 a.m. just playing with your boys.
Rookie numbers.
Nah, dude. I mean, when I was younger, I would stay up later, but nah, dude.
Try 7 a.m.
Oh, dude. Maybe when I was in high school, I would. I don't know, because when I was in high school, that's when the whole online gaming came out, So I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first one, came out.
I did play that as well. I loved that. The campaign was awesome.
Yeah, campaign was dope. And the other one, they did pretty good. The one they remade.
Wasn't that just recently?
No.
They're remaking another Modern Warfare
now. Are they
remaking
it? Okay.
Hopefully they won't screw that one up.
Yeah, hopefully they don't. But yeah, Black Ops 2 was dope. That was my favorite. I got to I think the furthest I got on the zombie maps was like level 32 or 22. I can't remember. How far did you ever get? Do you remember?
Rookie numbers.
Is it really?
Yeah, I made it to...
Don't tell me like 80 something, dude.
No, it was 91, I believe.
Holy shit.
Or 111. One of the two.
Dude, no, there's no fucking way. Okay, all right. I was playing with my brothers. My brothers are younger than me. They're pretty good. How the hell were you making it that far?
It's called being a kid.
You and a squad, right?
Me and one other person.
What? No, there's no way, dude.
Yes.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I need proof. All right. I know you got screenshots of that. I need proof.
I was back on a PS3.
Really?
From a long time ago.
Jesus, man.
PS3 that kept crashing when we kept getting real high up, and then that would screw it up. But we ended up making it to 90-something.
How the hell did you... I mean, dude, how would you be able to run anywhere? There would just be...
Well, yeah.
Hundreds of zombies.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot. It was so long ago that It's hard for me to remember everything that happened,
my
but it was
God,
definitely
man.
a lot of screaming. I'll tell you
A lot of
that.
screaming, a lot of ray guns.
Oh,
Ray gun
God.
shooting.
Yeah, ray guns for sure. And then ray guns end up being weak.
Oh, really? What
Yeah.
came out after that? What was the top?
No, like the ray guns ended up being weak when we got to
by
those levels.
90 something? Oh, yeah, I couldn't imagine. I wonder what guy got the furthest.
I think there was like 150, maybe 200.
God, dude.
Which I don't know how.
Yeah, people hearing this are probably like, what the hell like are they talking about? Like, if you know, you know. All right, that's all I gotta say.
I personally don't know how anyone gets past 100.
I don't know. I don't know how you got past the level I got, because, I mean, we would try to run around the map, to kind of circle them and take them out like that. But like after a while, it's just like you couldn't. They were everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's also glitches.
You didn't have enough ammo.
There's glitches too.
You
could,
okay.
Get in there, stand on top of something you're not supposed to stand on top of. There's a couple things.
Yeah. Dude, it started getting real glitchy after a while, even in the regular online gameplay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was wild. So dude, one camera. That's it. That's all you got. That's all you need.
One camera and a few lenses.
Because that makes the whole thing, right? It's lenses.
Yeah, it's more lenses than the camera. Actually.
Okay.
To an extent, depending on what you're going for. If you're going for cinema, then you should probably get a camera that has the capability. But if you're looking for overall just looks, it's more lens than camera.
And you're shooting on like a DSLR, right?
No, it's mirrorless.
Mirrorless. Okay. What's the difference between the two? Do you know?
Well, one, the viewfinder is all digital. You're not actually looking through a piece of glass. Like you look into it, there's a little screen that's inside of there.
The DSLR.
The mirrorless. I've never used a DSLR.
Yeah, I keep hearing use a DSLR. So I just like don't know, what the best route is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so. The only camera I've ever touched, like other than an old Rebel 3, Canon Rebel 3 only photography camera. I mean, that's really the only camera I've touched is my Canon R5C. So I am educated in this camera.
No, for sure. And I've heard when you think photographer or videographer, people just assume that they're going to be knowledgeable in all the tech that's out there, and that's not true.
I mean, I've used
people have their specifics, that their go-tos. Like you said, you narrow it in on this piece of equipment. You're like, this is for me. Why learn really anything else? I mean, I'm sure stuff will come along your way.
There is definitely.
You'll check it out.
Over the years, I'll probably upgrade to something bigger.
Yeah.
But I mean, the biggest camera I've used was, I can't remember the model because again, I was just working under someone at the time, but I was filming a concert at the Voodoo Lounge.
Oh, really?
And it was for Laura Noble. And I was using, I can't remember the model, but it was a Sony. A big old one that had, holding up like this.
Yeah.
And I was working under a company, so I can't remember the actual model, but it was a big boy.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest camera I've ever used.
Really?
And then I did end up working with...
Is that like on an accessory, or is that like the actual camera?
No, that's the actual camera. The camera itself is about that big.
You're like those guys at the NFL games holding those big-ass cameras.
It was one of those cameras. It was a lot.
Yeah. Is it heavy?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
When I got home, I was like...
Had to switch shoulders.
Help. It was a workout.
Yeah.
I was not used to. My back, when I got home, I was all, oh God, help me.
That's crazy. And I've seen some of your equipment, like you have it on like this little deal, like it keeps it steady and stuff like that. What is that thing called?
It's called a gimbal.
A gimbal, that's what
it's the RS3 Pro.
Okay.
I got it, and I've actually only used it one time.
Oh, really?
Spent $800 on the thing, and I've only used it once.
Oh, my God.
That's just mainly because I'm kind of like, I'm a handheld kind of guy. I love the way handheld looks.
Yeah.
But
plus, you can't do all your angles and stuff like that you like to do with that,
to an extent. I mean, when it comes to stable footage, people call me gimbal hands because I literally am really stable with my hands more than others. But I need to start using my gimbal more when it comes to events because it gives that unique look. And then I have a couple other projects coming up in the sports world. I'm probably going to use the gimbal for some running shots where I hope to God when I'm running at this athlete with my gimbal, I do not fall and just maul the entire thing.
You probably will.
When I'm running, I'm always like, should I run? I don't know. I don't want to screw up anything.
Yeah.
It's a risk.
Yeah.
It's a risk every damn time I pick up that thing.
And so what are you doing currently right now? You're doing the fitness, you're doing the sports. What else are you doing?
I'm doing...
I've seen music.
I do music videos with Strange Music and the Unconventional Kings. I actually have something I'll touch on that a little bit later. I do music videos. I do short music videos, fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I do basically anything you could ever throw at me. I do. Fitness, sports, fashion, boudoir, like everything you could possibly throw at me. Events, branding. There's nothing I can't do.
Yeah.
So far.
Is that hard to keep everything separated? Because I'm sure they're completely different photo shoots.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it's not really hard to keep them because whenever I'm filming, it's just like a new experience and it's separate in its own self and just like, okay, film it, done. There's been a couple times where I've been pushed out of my comfort zone, but I've still delivered.
Right.
I mean, I haven't had a time where I haven't been able to deliver, even under a 24-hour deadline from, let's say, Body Armor or Ralph Lauren. They want the best product.
Yeah.
But they give you barely any time to do it.
Yeah.
And not everyone could do that. But, I'll take some credit.
Yeah.
I did do it.
Yeah. Or like even, I'm sure music videos, like trying to keep that hype, I'm sure that's a different shoot.
It's a lot
of energy.
Filming.
Yeah.
Because if you just film one shot of the entire song, it's going to be like, okay, can we see something else? Yeah. So when you're filming these music videos, you have to constantly repeat these the verses each time and get different angles and different backgrounds and different shots with the same verse. And then when you get home, you have like 20 different scenes of different verses.
You got to go through all.
And you have to go through all of them and mix them up to where the video is constantly moving. It's not just one spot. But then you have to make sure the lips sync up with everything. It's a whole process.
Do you sync some of those 20 scenes together?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's how it all comes together.
Really? So so if you got one, like let's say you've got like 5 scenes, but you've probably got like 20 shots of each of those scenes, right? Mm-hmm. So you're kind of chopping them all up and kind of piecing them all together?
Yeah, like let's say we have one verse.
You don't just pick one.
Let's say we have one verse we want to film.
Yeah.
Now we're going to film that 5 separate times in 5 separate locations.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Now, when I get home, I have this one verse, 5 different shots, 5 different locations, and I'm going to start off here. The next verse, I'm going to chop it up to this part where we're in a different spot, and then we're going to go to there, and we're going to go there. There's always has to be movement because people don't like to watch something that's still. Because modern social media has influenced people to have minds of a squirrel.
Yeah.
Attention spans of a squirrel.
You're not lying, dude.
They're hungry for their nuts and they want the food now.
I know.
If you don't catch them within the first 3 seconds, they're running off to the next nut tree.
Yeah, that's what they say about
just take some of these, man. Wait a second.
Yeah, I've heard that about like, when I post reels and stuff, it's like keep them short, keep them choppy, because nobody wants to sit there and I guess watch me talk for a minute and a half. I'm like, if you can't sit there and watch me for a minute, not even me, my guest, mostly, this might not be the thing for you,
Yeah.
But, how long does that last, And so I get why people have to target what the audience wants.
I've seen some really bad cases of squirrel brain with even friends of mine and past friends and people that I just genuinely work with. Like, they'll be scrolling through the Instagram reels and they're doing this.
Yeah.
They're not giving anything a chance. They just go and I'm like, do you want to watch one of these? What are you doing?
I know. What are they doing when they're doing that?
They're looking for something that catches their eye, I guess.
I know.
But how could you even see when you're going that quick?
I guess there's just so much, and it's hard to be able, like, you can't give your time to all of it. So it's like, I guess if you're going to use your time, you're going to want to find something. And whatever that thing that catches the eye is that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's wild. How long do one of those photo shoots take? Or video shoots take for like a music video? Are you talking about days? Or are we talking about?
Depends on the size of it.
Right.
If it's a short music video, such as like what certain artists use to promote their main music video, maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Have you done like a full music video?
I've done a full music video, and certain ones they could take. I mean, sometimes they can take up to an entire day.
Really?
From
Who was that
morning
for?
to night. I've worked with Strange Music
Okay.
and the Unconventional Kings, and I guess I'll touch base on something with them. So the Unconventional Kings.
Yeah, who are they? I don't think I've heard of
They
them.
are a group of real high definition and Low Key the Wizard, a guitarist and a rapper.
Oh, okay.
They are the perfect symbiotic relationship between rock and rap.
Oh, that's dope.
They kind of took me under their wing. Real High Definition took me under his wing. I think over a year ago now. I mean, it's been a while. I lost track of time because when I'm working with them, it's just go, go, go.
Yeah, it sounds like you've been on the move for the last year and a half. So
yeah,
I'm sure things get blurry.
He took me under his wing and in the Strange Music family as a whole, and Tech Nine and all of them welcomed me with open arms. I mean,
That's dope,
again,
man.
they keep their circle small.
Yeah.
When you have something this high and you have this empire,
Mm-hmm.
you have to make sure you don't let the wrong people in.
Yeah.
And I am blessed enough to have been given the opportunity to be like, hey guys, I have something to offer. Is there any way I can give me a shot to show you what I can do?
That's cool.
And the Unconventional Kings gave me that opportunity.
That's dope.
And
man.
just recently, I was actually on the phone with him today, right before I got here, and we were talking about some very, very spicy things that we're working on together.
Oh,
we got some big plans coming up.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to be filming this weekend. Saturday night, we're going to be working on a music video.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some big opportunities and big projects that we're going to be working on in the near future. And
That's dope, man.
I am so excited to be continuing to work with the Unconventional
Yeah, I mean,
Kings.
especially like, them and especially like, Tech Nine. I mean, legend in Kansas City. I mean, shit.
Can't be on Kansas City at this point. I mean, he's all over the world.
Yeah, he's all over. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely all over the world.
He's
now.
in our
But
hearts.
Just thinking like, when I was growing up in like middle and high school, back in like the angelic days, it's crazy, man.
And speaking
absolute
of that,
power. I mean, it's really cool, and it's cool because I've seen a lot of podcasts that he's been on in the past, and just seeing him in all these different places,
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty neat.
And back in those days, like 1999, my grandpa owned a club called Club Life.
Oh, really?
Not sure if you're familiar,
Mm-mm.
but it's like right the street over from the Kansas City Museum.
Okay.
And that's actually one reason they were forced to close. Because they complained about the noise.
I bet.
But 1999 was when my grandpa owned Club Life, and Tech Nine started there.
Oh, really?
So my family started Tech Nine's first album release party.
Oh, that's dope.
And
dude.
they got really close, especially my mom was really close with him back then. But after Club Life closed, the connection got disrupted, and of course Tech Nine started getting really popular. It just kind of fell off. Distance was built.
Yeah.
And let's say 20 years later, here I am, somehow waltzing my way back in there. I'm
You're
like, okay,
"Hi."
hey, I'm back. I'm the new generation. Hello. And they welcomed me with open arms. And I am beyond grateful to be working with their family.
Yeah.
They're not a group, they're a family. And
That's
I've realized
really cool.
that.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, I can't imagine being on a set like this, especially at how young you are. I mean, that's got to be intimidating.
When you're on set with $30,000 cameras, you're like, I'm just holding my $4,000 one. Hi, guys.
Yeah, that's neat.
But I take a lot of pride in my camera.
Hey, but it shows. It's like you ain't got to have all that shit. You just got to have a good photographer. You know what I mean? Like, good photographer, you got a good camera, and look at all the cool stuff that you've done with them,
Yeah.
So that's pretty neat. Yeah, I can't wait to see. I'm gonna actually have to look those guys up. I've never heard of. What were they called?
The Unconventional Kings.
Unconventional Kings. Yeah.
They're recently signed a deal with Strange Music, so they're actually
they're kind of new.
They're somewhat new.
Yeah.
But they're
probably been around
they're ahead of their game when it comes to skill and how unique they are, and overall their passion for the work is. If they don't end up blowing up to an unforeseen amount, I'm gonna start a riot because they deserve it.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, I think Tech Nine, he always was kind of like that rock type rap type deal. So I mean,
he's very unique.
Yeah,
and
so they definitely
down-to-earth person.
they picked the right group to go to. So that's pretty cool. Hell yeah, dude. Any other people that you end up you're thinking of working with, or anyone reaching out to you?
Well, I do have a couple. I just recently got done working with a couple high schools, Bishop Miege, private school. Made a football hype film for them. Now I'm going to be working with. I'm not sure if you're familiar with St. Pius.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be working with them sometime in the next couple of weeks. So
really?
For their football team, their varsity football team.
I think that's neat when
and
they
we're
do
going to be
that
making a banger. Yeah. And this video is going to be what they're showing before their games. So
yeah, my brother, they used to play it almost was like a Netflix documentary. He went to Oak Park, and so before the game they would play it, and it looked like a Netflix, like the opening credits and all that stuff, and then it would have the players it was a video, and then had their name pop up, and it was neat, man. I think that stuff's pretty cool. It just it brings like a cool hype, cool energy, to be before the game starts,
Yeah, and I'm very honored to be the one to be creating that for St. Pius, because they're a very renowned school, and the people that are there are very passionate about what they do. So I'm looking forward to working with their football team for sure.
Man, that's pretty cool, man. Have you ever done I know you don't do photography as much, but do you do street stuff, when you're out in the street, and do you do kind of take your video camera and just capture stuff?
Well, I've done both photography and videography in that world. I've recently worked with City Brim. Not sure if you're familiar with them, but they're a Kansas City hat brand.
Oh, okay.
I've worked with them twice now, and we did one shoot that was definitely street style. We went to a skate park, and we created something that was perfect.
Yeah.
Then recently I just worked with them on their new hat line, and definitely trying to expand my work into the street area. So when it comes to, let's say, a street commercial, you need that street look.
Yeah.
Even though I've been so used to creating something high end and luxurious, I have the capability to get down and gritty.
So what is it? Just more raw? Maybe less editing?
Well, no, it's actually it's more editing.
Oh, it's more.
Because you have to make it look like this. You have to make it feel, sound, appear grungy and rugged, but at the same time not going too overboard. It's also the way you film. You have to get certain angles that normally you wouldn't get, because it gives off that cool, hip, street vibe.
Yeah.
So it's constantly a changing game where you have to adapt based off of every single video.
Yeah, I've seen.
And photo, because I did a photo shoot for them as well.
Yeah, I've seen too. I've listened to a photographer, on different podcasts in the past, and I've seen even colors of certain if you're downtown or something and a building is white or yellow or something, it can affect your shot. So you have to be careful of kind of where you're shooting
and the overall color balance,
consideration.
The color balance of the scene, especially when it comes to coming home and color grading.
Yeah.
Long
dude,
process.
Color grading. Yeah. I wish I could learn that. Yeah, that's a beast.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But it's worth it at the end, because you can turn a video from being light and happy to dark and gritty in just a matter of color.
Yeah, I know. I've tried it. I'm not very good at it. I definitely give respect on people who do that, because you could literally turn a regular. I mean, everyone has seen a movie, and you've seen the unedited versions of that movie, and then seen how they make it cinematic. I mean, it's amazing.
Why does a movie look like a movie?
Yeah.
Why? And there's so many things that go behind that. Between the frame in which you're using your composition in. So if you're shooting with 35 millimeter, you're shooting 50 millimeter. The way you film, first of all, is one of the aspects. The type of shots you're getting, the way you film them in let's say angle wise, and overall, there's another thing when it comes to the actual color grade that you do, because color grading is a big thing when it comes to cinema. You need it to look this certain way in order to feel like a movie, because you'll see certain low budget movies, the low budget, not just because of the cameras they're using, but because of how they're filming, the way they're color grading.
It feels like a home video that you shot.
And then certain ones like to film in soap opera mode, which then ends up looking like a soap opera. That real smooth not so appealing look.
Right. I'm a big fan of like Quentin Tarantino type look. I like how he films his movies because it's almost like a mix of cinematic and like homey type video. I don't know how to explain that. Like a
Yeah.
raw type video.
Yeah, it gives that raw
Yeah,
aesthetic.
he has like a weird balance on how he does that. I don't know how it's amazing.
It's all art.
Yeah, and he does a lot of like I feel like someone, like you said, is holding the camera instead of using like one of those big ass.
That's what I'm saying. There's guerrilla style is what it's called.
Oh,
like,
really?
Guerrilla style, you are giving it that, like you're really there. Like you feel like you're there when you're watching the movie. And another key aspect to making a movie look like a movie is lighting.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
If you don't have the right lighting, it's not going to look like a movie.
Do you think lighting is probably the most important thing?
Lighting is the most important key aspect of any video.
Yeah.
That also strongly changes the fact of what kind of camera you need, because you can have a low budget camera, and if you nail the lighting, you won't even notice.
Yeah.
There's been people who've gotten an iPhone and have these people who paint with light, like they know what they're doing beyond videographers. Like they specialize in lighting, and they made an iPhone video look like a movie because of the lighting. Lighting is the one power that people have to learn when they're getting into videography, because if you don't have that pat down, once you get a certain job, you're like, what do I do?
No, I get it. It does play, even in photos.
Oh,
I mean, you got to have the right lighting. I learned that from all the girls, man. Like they would, like I never got it for a while, and then I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that does make a difference. Yeah, when the sun's hitting you a certain way or behind you, or I don't know how they do it, but like even me, like here, like I'm trying to do that cross lighting, you know, I'm kind of missing some. I need to get some in the back here, kind of light up the dark side of our faces over here. But yeah, it's there's so many different setups you can do. It's amazing how it could just change the scenery entirely, you know. That's pretty neat. But angles too, man. Angles too is a big thing, you know. I'm sure.
For sure, I'm over here squatting all day and night. You know it. Whoever, for anyone watching, if you're looking to get into videography, you better do some leg work. Yeah. Because them legs get used, especially when you're trying to get unique angles. Like I am squatting down deeper than a turtle. It is. Well,
luckily for you, you do a lot of fitness videos, so I'm sure they can throw in a free membership there for you to go lift.
Oh yeah, hey, if any gyms are watching this, you know, you need videos.
Yeah, there you
Slide me a membership, might cut you a deal.
Where do you go? Where do the gyms you do now? Flex, I seen was one of them.
Flex Fitness is the main gym where most of my clients are. Yeah. Because my videos range based off of where the clients go. Yeah. Sometimes I personally recommend Flex Fitness because they have some of the best equipment. They have the best overall aesthetic, and the way that the place films. It's just the best gym I have found in Kansas City.
How do you work with gym lighting, though? That's got to be rough, because you know how gym lighting is.
Flex Fitness's gym lighting is perfection.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Like, that's why if certain clients reach out to me and they are not for sure stuck on their main gym, I'm like, hey, you want to go to Flex Fitness? It's better for video. Yeah. And that's actually where I'm going to be filming on Thursday. And
they're cool with you filming in there?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. I've worked with them personally in the past.
That's awesome. Yeah, I went there once a long time ago just to check them out because I was working down there at the time. It was a real neat gym. You know,
they remodeled.
Yeah, I've seen that. I follow them on Instagram. So I've seen they add a new equipment all the time. They got like a posing room and stuff like that for people, and it's pretty neat. I really like OGKC too. I really like them.
That's actually where I filmed my body armor campaign.
Oh, did you? Yep. Yeah, that gym is dope. I love that gym.
Has some pretty good lighting as well.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times, and the guys up there that run it are real cool. But yeah, man, that's pretty neat, man. That's pretty cool. I wanted to talk to you. Did you say like, and forgive me if I'm wrong, on one of your interviews, are you doing like charity stuff, or are you raising awareness for stuff?
Yeah, I do. Me and my mother do a lot of fundraising work. Because again, not only am I trying to make my impact in the media world, but I'm trying to make an impact on people's lives in Kansas City at the same time. Yeah. Because me personally, I've went through some stuff in the past as a kid, and I want to be able to help other kids in ways that I never had help in. So when it comes to Operation Breakthrough, we have worked with them. That's what got me the KMBC9 and News interview. And they ended up following my journey because, again, my mom is an abstract artist. So we use her artwork as a form of raffle. So we get one of her art pieces, we raffle it off for, let's say, $10 an entry. And each $10 gives you a chance to win that art piece. But those funds go and support an organization that we're working with, such as 87 and Running by Travis Kelsey, Operation Breakthrough. We're also going to be working with the National Suicide Alliance. There's going to be certain organizations that we're going to be working with soon, actually, probably in the next month, maybe after because in July, beginning of July, I'm going out of town. But we'll definitely have to start up again because we took a little bit of a break since I've been so busy. But definitely we are getting back into the fundraising world.
Operation Breakthrough, what is that?
They help give kids an opportunity to, let's say, learn STEM and overall academics, athletics, and other schooling education purposes
That's cool.
that they normally wouldn't have the opportunity to get, especially in underprivileged families.
Yeah.
So they're a wonderful organization, and that's why we chose them as the main beneficiary from our.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that you went through what you went through, but it's good that you're trying to reach out and try to help. You know what I mean?
And when people ask me about what I went through, I mean, I'm open about it to an extent.
I mean, is that something you want to discuss? You don't have to if you want to.
Feel free to ask away.
Yeah. So what happened?
Well, back whenever I think it was 4. Timing then was a little bit hard to predict. But basically, my father, he was the definition of, and he's an excuse of a father.
Yeah.
You know, any fool can have a kid. Any fool can have a kid. But it's the person who takes the step to be a father. That's a father. Like my grandfather.
Yeah.
He stepped in whenever I didn't have that father figure. He took care of me as a father because, well, obviously mine wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
But he, what do I want to get into here? Which parts? There's a lot of parts.
Hey, man, you got the floor.
Let's see. Well, one of the things was back whenever I was about 4, he became a gambleaholic. We'll start off with that. He became a gambleaholic, and not only did he become a gambleaholic, he became verbally and mentally abusive to both me and my mom.
Really?
It was something, and my mom still has PTSD to this day because of things that would happen. But one of the main things that really is still affecting us to this day, other than trust issues and a whole plethora of problems, like my mom, she suffers from a couple disorders because of that. But one of the things that I would say, where was I? Kind of got lost.
No, that she suffers from some disorders from the past, the trauma she's gone through.
But so one of the main things that's still hurting us to this day that he did, other than abandoning me completely, like just to an extent, I'm glad he did, because it got to the point where there was a little boy sitting on my grandma's porch waiting for him to come every holiday, every weekend, every birthday, and he would never show up. That would end up making my grandma was furious. Like she wanted, like they're mama bears. My mom and her, they were feisty. And you wouldn't want to see your grandkid going through that every damn birthday, every holiday, sitting on your porch crying his eyes out. Yeah. And that's what I was. And by the time he finally ended up just stopping, he stopped lying and just disappeared, which I believe was the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
How old were you then?
I can't put a number on it specifically, because it's either
he was just in and out
from 4 to 5 or 6. But I think no, it wasn't 6. It was from 4 to 5 specifically. But the thing that's bothering us today still is finances.
Yeah.
He completely wiped out my mom's savings account. Everything that she saved up from the first day she ever started working to save up for my college funds, for my first car, everything gone. Zip, no more. And he borrowed tens of thousands of dollars from my grandparents because they loved him like a son, especially my grandpa. And I never got that back.
Yeah, it sounds like it's very manipulative on the way he was being.
He was a narcissistic evil, lying piece of crap.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
So, but I mean, to be honest, it taught me what not to be.
Yeah, I know, but at the end of the
And-
day, you know, everyone deserves to have a father in their life,
And
you
that's
know?
why I thank my grandpa.
Yeah.
He has been that figure that
That's
I
good that you have
wouldn't
that, yeah.
normally have if circumstances were different.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah,
appreciate
because
him.
imagine if your grandfather wasn't there. You know, that's.
I mean, my mom, she did the work. She stepped up when she needed to, but
Yeah, but there's a balance.
There's
you
a
know,
balance
everyone
in it.
needs a father and a mother. You know, it's a balance. It's hard to explain until you have it. You know, and you know, it's just unfortunate. I don't know how a father can walk out on his child. I've never understood that.
I
you know?
personally don't understand. Like whenever I have my family,
Yeah.
I don't understand how I could physically or mentally walk out
Oh, I know.
on them.
Yeah.
Like,
Trust me, I get it. I had
It
I had the
doesn't
same
make sense to
story,
me.
you know, and I was fortunate enough that another man stepped into my life and raised me. So I completely get where you're going from. You know, mine left at 1, so
oh,
signed over his rights. So
Wow. Oh wow.
yeah, so I totally get what you mean on that. You know, luckily I had, you know, another person that stepped in and raised me. But yeah, I've always wondered that. I just never understood how, you know, because I have 2 children now, and I mean, I have a hard time if I can't see them for a couple of days on a vacation or something, it's difficult, you know, and it's good to get away and, you know,
Yeah,
you
of
do
course.
adult things, you know, but, you know, it's like you just leave and just don't come back, and you're just like, fuck him, I don't care, whatever, you know,
He
fuck
doesn't
my
know if
kids,
he
you
doesn't know
know.
if I'm living or dying.
That's what I'm
So,
saying. Like, I don't know how
he sleeps at night.
some people are wired, how they sleep at night. I don't know if it was done to them and then they became the product of that. I don't know.
Well, I know my grandma from his side.
Mm-hmm.
She was the sweetest soul that you could.
Oh, so are
ever-
your grandparents that raised you his parents?
No, my grandparents are the
Your-
Italian side, the full-blooded Italian. My mom's parents.
Your mom's parents. Okay.
But my dad, I like to call him my sperm donor.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
give
pretty
him
much
the-
what he is. Yeah.
I don't give him the credit as a father.
Yeah.
But basically, his mom, which is my grandma, she was the sweetest soul you could ever imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the good people go first.
Oh,
That's how
sucks.
it seems like it works in this life.
Yeah.
She was there for us when we needed her. And unfortunately, she passed away due to a tumor in her stomach the size of a watermelon.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Again, the
And
evil people last the longest.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
so
what I
he's still
realized.
out there then, I'm guessing. You know, I guess you don't know where he's at, but
No, I've done some digging.
you're like, I know, but he probably doesn't know.
Yeah,
where,
he's got 7 kids. I ain't one of them.
Oh, fuck, man, that's crazy, dude. And he still continued. Oof,
Yeah.
that's horrible, man. You know, then I hope that I'm glad that you see it though, because I hope that whenever, you know, if you decide to have children of your own one day or whatever, you know, that, you know, it sounds like you're going to make some different decisions. You know?
I think just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
You know, I'm gonna
the right decisions.
The
you
right
know?
decisions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an actual father
Yeah.
who cares for their children with the utmost priority and doesn't just leave them in the dust.
Yeah.
You know, fend for themselves.
Yeah. How are you doing with that? Because I'm sure. I mean, you're still pretty young. You know, being 18. You know,
Freshly
I know,
18.
Yeah, and so I'm sure, you know, you're still struggling, you know, mentally on that, because I can't imagine. I remember when I was, you know, in high school and, you know, was dealing with stuff, what you're dealing with, you know, on that, you know, and it's definitely a mind fuck, you know, especially when you start getting older and you need your father, you know, and, you know, luckily you had your grandfather. Luckily I had, you know, the father who raised me.
Yeah.
But it's a weird, it's like something's missing. Have you ever felt that feeling? I mean, of course, you know, you kind of went through, it sounds like, a lot of bad things with this person. See,
to
I
an
didn't
extent,
get to
it
go
was a
through.
relief.
Yeah.
It was a relief, but
Yeah.
there has been some times, even recently, where you know, with my work, things get very, you know, hectic.
Yeah.
And that causes your emotions to start getting a little, you know, whoopy.
Yeah.
So there's been some times where I'm, you know, just sitting, thinking to myself, My mom's knows this because my mom knows when something's wrong. You can't hide shit from her.
Oh yeah.
Like I could have a pain in my left toe and she'll somehow know. But no, she'll notice. And there was this recent time where I was just sitting there like, getting a little emotional with just thinking to myself like, I missed out on things. Like, why?
Yeah.
And missing the fact, like, how they say you shouldn't miss something you never had. That's something that goes with my father's side, my father's mom and my grandma. Again, I didn't know her that long because I was very young when she passed away, but I knew enough to know that she was the sweetest soul on the planet.
Yeah.
But I lost that very early. So now it's like I'm missing something that I didn't really get to experience enough to where I can remember it entirely.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me sad that she's not here to this day to show me what a good person she was. Like in general, like it's missing. It's missing. And it made me a little emotional recently. Like, I'm like, yeah, I am missing something I didn't really have. Some people say that doesn't happen, but like, yeah, I am missing something I never really had.
No, but it is. Or like even father-wise, you know what I mean? I'm sure that you've seen your friends maybe with their fathers or, and you're kind of like, damn, I wish I had that. I wish my dad would go throw the ball with me or whatever it is that you're into, and I wish I had.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
I had a case where there was a guy that I met through one of my friends, her dad. We ended up getting, somewhat close. We both mutually understood and each other, and he obviously knew my past, and we ended up getting pretty close. He offered me some advice and life advice and things like that whenever we would see each other. And I'm not saying any names, but I'd like to spread a little bit of something. And he's no longer in my life either.
Oh, really?
But not because of a decision he made, but because of his daughter.
Oh.
She's the jealous type.
Oh.
And if they're ever listening, if they're snooping, they know who I'm talking about. But he was the jealous type. She was the jealous type, and she took him away from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was an ultimatum.
Man.
Like, you gotta stop getting close with my dad, or I'm gonna do this and that. Like, it's just another evil person.
Yeah, sometimes you
not
gotta,
necessarily evil, but definitely has a problem.
Young and making bad decisions, man. You know what I mean? It's just when you're. We're not perfect, and we're going to make decisions sometimes that we regret. We all do it, and it just, I would recommend to you just look the other way and, if it's meant to be, maybe you'll come around and meet him again. You know what I mean? Maybe you'll see him around again. He
still keeps in touch everything there online.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And one of the things he actually, because he lives right next, down the street and to the right. He has a very powerful 700 horsepower car.
Oh yeah.
And I always know it's him whenever he revs by our house on purpose. So he's always there. It's
That's
just
cool.
not there in the ways I wish he was.
Yeah. Sometimes, life's weird. Shit doesn't work out the way you planned,
Oh yeah.
But keep on holding strong, man. Don't let those things hold you back. Let out your emotions when you feel a certain way. Sometimes people like to hold that shit in. That's probably the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, especially being a man.
Yeah.
Like, you're expected to just be an emotionless beast. I'm like, okay, come on now. I'm human too.
Yeah, this whole trend of, fucking pull yourself up by your bootstraps type shit. It's like, it's cool. And I get it. And you should be disciplined. Yeah. And you should not be creating a victim mentality.
Oh, 100%.
But it's okay to let your emotions out. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Find a group of trusted individuals that you can vent to and let off steam, because holding that energy in is not good. It's not right. It's going to eat you alive.
Yeah.
You can't take on everything in life by yourself. You're going to crash and burn. Simple as that.
There's going to be those moments for sure.
Yeah. And so, I always tell people, I even had a conversation with my cousin not too long ago, and it's okay. We all go through shit. We all deal with stuff in life. You could look at somebody else and see that their life is a lot worse. Go on YouTube, type in kids in poverty in third world countries. You know what I mean? That'll definitely be like, oh, okay. And I'm not taking away what each person is going through. I'm just saying that don't lose faith in life. Don't lose hope. You can overcome. You can overcome, but you're going to have to make decisions. You're going to have to make decisions in your life that you may not want to make. You're going to have to do things in life you may not want to do, but you have to do it. You have to be disciplined. You got to do it. You got to work on yourself, and because that's going to be the only way. You're never going to be just content. Never. You can have the greatest life in the world. You're going to find something to bitch about and complain. I mean, that's just simple. Or you're going to find something that hurt you. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. And always. you have to keep working away on that, man. It never stops. That's the unfortunate part. But you can find moments of peace. It just depends on what it is. You got to find that. Yeah. Is there things that you do? Like, do you have hobbies other than videography?
I mean, again, mostly everyone knows me as Termini Media. So I try to show a little bit of life behind my brand, which is something I'm getting into. But I mean, I have multiple hobbies. One used to be gaming. It's a little gaming then and there, but it's also helping my mom with her artwork.
Nice.
Fundraising work. That's another thing that really brings joy to me. I just had to take a break recently.
Yeah.
I enjoy. I'm getting into working out. Getting into it. I mean, I've done all of this damn fitness videos. It's about time I start doing it myself. So I'm getting into that as well. Mm-hmm. And I mean, just overall having a good time with people who I trust, and the circle I've built.
That's good.
Throughout my business is definitely an experience that I'm glad I'm able to have.
I would definitely recommend working out. You know what I mean? Because you look very physically fit. Like you're not fat or anything. So you think, oh well, I don't have to do it. I look fine right now, but really it's for here. And it's a good mental release. Or like we said, the energy release. Because sometimes you don't realize it, and you're just kind of like, oh, why am I so irritated right now? Well, sometimes you got to let that out. You got to go do something.
I've done that. I have some dumbbells. All of a sudden, I feel like a jolly little dandelion.
Exactly, man. And I try to explain that to people because, I've said the story 1,000 times, but I've let myself go for a period of time. So I've seen both sides. I've been very fit throughout my school years. I've let myself go, and then I've gotten back into it. Being fit, yeah, it sucks having to do it sometimes.
Yeah.
The reward is a lot better than feeling the lows of
both
of
mentally,
not taking,
visually, physically, the way people view you. Mm-hmm. Because one thing I've learned, this is a business tip from one of my clients they gave me, being fit is more than just being able to lift weights. Mm-hmm. It's actually how people perceive you. Right. And when you see someone, let's say you're in a suit, all right, suits automatically make people think higher of you.
Right.
But if you get a scrawny dude in a suit, or you get a muscular, not necessarily like ripped, but muscular, fit guy in a suit, you compare those two, and you have random people look at them. They're going to automatically want to do business with the one who is more muscular, not because they're muscular, but because they're disciplined. Mm-hmm. That automatically tells you that, okay, well, that person has a mind that they can fight against mentally to do something that makes them uncomfortable, to build something for themselves. Mm-hmm. So it's a form of discipline that you see, and you're like, okay, well, this person might be better to work with. Not necessarily that they are, but people view it that way.
No, you're completely right. He's making the decisions to eat better. He's making decisions to either wake up in the morning or go after work to do something like you said. He probably enjoys, but at most part, it's a grind. It is a grind, and not everybody has that discipline to do it, and it sets yourself apart. But also, and I would say too, that is an added benefit. But just if you make that your lifestyle, you'll feel a lot better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially the older you get, the less friends you have. People trickle out, they start their families or they go do their own lives. And, you start work is just basically what you got or your family. And then you got to have something for yourself, and not even working out. Go do a spin class or whatever, go do a
something that gets your heart
hobby, yeah, exactly. Go do something, go play soccer or basketball or something, something that you can enjoy that gets you out there. You know what I mean? 100%. Like video games is cool, but you play video games and you kind of are wanting something a little bit different, because you're like, I want to get out there and actually get the blood pumping. Let's do something. Let's engage with others around me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Online's fun, but you know how that is, man. It kind of gets a little old after
everything
a while.
in there, because for a minute there, I didn't play any games for 7 months.
Oh, really?
I broke that streak just 4 days ago.
7 months? That's
7
as long
months,
as you've gone?
7 months. I did not play a single game for 7 months. And me and my best friend hopped on Rocket League and for the first time, because he hasn't played since I played. We work like that. I mean, we only play when we're both on, because otherwise it's not the games that are fun anymore. It's just playing alongside each other.
With
that's
your
fun
buddies.
now.
Yeah.
Because we've kind of grown out of just wanting to play by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But no, definitely, I just broke that streak, and it was one of the most, like, not relaxing because we scream our life away as per usual, but relaxing at the same time. Like, it just felt like, okay, I can finally just enjoy what I've built and just take a second to breathe. And I did actually have an experience like that recently with one of my photographer friends, Jason Pagel. He is a great inspiration of mine just because of how mature and well thought out he is. Like, he gives me a lot of life advice, and he helps me a lot with, like, right now I'm working on getting a computer upgrade.
Oh, that's cool.
Because my life is watching a rendering bar. I've had it for 6 years. Okay. It's treated me well for gaming, but now it's starting to, I'm hearing her scream every time I press render, and it makes my workflow a lot slower.
Oh yeah, it sucks. I used to have a computer that it would take for a 2-hour podcast. What was the longest I think I had? A 3-hour podcast, about 18 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I haven't had something like that happen.
Yeah. Now I have a new computer now. I've had it for some time, but I bought an Asus. It's actually a nice computer. It's a gaming laptop. And it takes sometimes on a 3.5-hour podcast, 2-hour podcast, between 2 hours and 3 hours, something around there. That's a lot better than,
I'm working on getting a huge computer upgrade, and thanks to Jason Pagel for helping me
going
build
laptop?
this, because he is a Ford engineer, so he knows a lot about computers. I know about computers, but I don't know computers like he knows.
Right.
And he's helped me a lot with figuring out the right pieces, the right product.
All the gigabytes and RAM and all. I don't even know half of that shit.
Yeah,
I went to Best Buy and I was just talking to the guy like, help me out. You know what I mean? Because I've looked at some things and I know a little bit like what to look for, but these guys will dissect a computer and like explain to you.
And that's what he does. Like, he explains things to me that I'm like, okay, I know I'm pretty computer savvy when it comes to like fixing the software, but the hardware is like, and he specializes in all of that hardware stuff. And then again, I'm also thankful for him because I met him at a event. It's cool. It's called AOA. It's a foundation that helps kids in Africa, like with athletics, like basketball.
Oh, okay.
But I met him there because he was a photographer at the event, and from there we became friends. And he was the one person that I finally was able to have a leisure day with, like, because I don't have leisure days really. It's always either editing, networking, or filming. And I finally had a leisure day just a couple weeks ago, where he brought me to 3 Light. You know 3 Light?
Yeah.
The luxury apartment. Well, he brought me to 3 Light because that's where he lives. And I just chilled in the hot tub. I was like, you know what? All right. Hey, story. I'm not doing shit today.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because normally on my videos, like whenever I go to film, I get my camera, my phone. I'm like, what are we doing today? Pretty sure you've seen that.
Yeah.
And they tell the clients or whoever I'm working with says, what are we doing today? Like, we're either filming this, yada yada. So I went on my stories like, what are we doing today? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that was definitely a nice experience.
That's always a nice day, huh?
So thank you, Jason. I appreciate you.
Nah, that's cool, dude. What software do you run?
3 different software. Well, 4 different softwares.
Are you an Adobe guy?
Oh, yeah, mainly Adobe. Adobe After Effects, Adobe Premiere Pro, CapCut, and Filmora.
Oh, okay.
CapCut PC specifically.
I tried Adobe Premiere, but it may have been I was on an older laptop, so I was having a hard time keeping up.
Sucks the life out of whatever you try and run it on.
Yeah, because I did not have I had to like tell them like, nah, I'm good. I'm done with this trial because I couldn't even get it to. I've heard a lot of great things about it. Everyone's running it, Do they have something on there to where when you're editing, like my biggest thing is what takes me forever is switching from camera angles. I do that all manually. Do they have something on Adobe Premiere for that does that, like where it can track the vocals between guests.
Okay.
And
Again,
cut.
I'm not. I haven't updated my Premiere Pro in a little bit,
Oh, okay.
but I did hear about something. It's like Adobe Firefly. It's like an AI assistant, and apparently you're gonna be able to like start typing in. You're gonna import footage, and you can type in what you want it to do with that footage,
Kind of like ChatGPT.
and
type.
it just starts putting it all together for you.
That's dope.
And it can like even work with transcriptions as well, and like make a video by click of a button. More basic stuff, but I think that might be something that'll help you. I'm not sure.
Because there's some AI stuff right now where like I could drop my full video in it and it'll create like 50 clips, you know? So I'm like, man, if you can do that, it's got to be able to, you know, because I don't have a guy here to be able to switch camera angles and eliminate. That shit takes, I mean, if I do a 2-hour, 3-hour podcast, that'll probably take 5-6 hours. Because, you know, it's not like I'm just able, sometimes I got to go back, I got to chop, I got to, you know, move it around, or, oh, I messed up, I got to redo it. So it's a pain in the ass, man. You know, and that would really help out a lot if I could figure that out. But yeah, I didn't know. I figured Adobe was what everyone goes to right now. But
it's the most versatile and most powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, for hell's sake, they edited big portions of Avengers Endgame on After Effects.
Oh, they did?
Like, so, I mean, it's powerful. And DaVinci Resolve is another one.
I like the Marvel movies. Those are good. They have anything coming out? Do you know? Are you a Marvel person?
Well, I used to be.
Yeah, I used to be. Not anymore?
Now, I mean, Marvel's kind of fallen off.
Yeah, I keep hearing that.
I haven't liked a single Marvel movie since Avengers Endgame.
It's because do you feel like they're going like the comedy route too much?
They're going comedy route. They're also going like they're trying too hard to put everything into their content. Like what's another way to put it? Like they're also getting really big on the short series. I mean, it's okay, but come on, let's make an actual movie.
Yeah.
Especially they're also trying after Disney bought Marvel. It was like, okay.
Oh, I know they always got to fuck shit up. I don't know why. And then DC, it's like I'm looking forward to Blade. It's about it. Or no, it's Blade Marvel. No, Blade's DC, right?
Blade's DC.
Is it DC?
I believe so. Again, I never was big on comics, but mainly Marvel was like my go-to.
Yeah. I know that's probably the only thing I'm looking forward to right now is that new Blade movie, but I'm hoping they don't mess that up. They already messed it up by making it PG-13. I was like, really?
That's another thing. They
really
also do
everything. And I get it, man. You want to have kids watch. That's cool. But dude, Blade, like if you remember Blade, I don't know if you've ever seen Blade.
I have.
Oh, dude, Blade was the shit. I mean, oh man, that was a good movie. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But you got anything coming up, man?
Coming up in which regard?
Anything you want to talk about? Anything you got coming up? Looking forward to?
Well, I did mention this earlier, but I could touch base on it again. I'm looking forward to this weekend, Saturday night. I'm going to be filming with some of the people in Strange Music,
Nice.
Tech Nine's group, and potentially Tech Nine. I don't know if he's going to be there yet.
Yeah.
That'll be a nice interaction. And
See a cool dude? Yeah.
Most down to earth.
That's what I've heard.
Guy you will ever meet. I mean, when you think of someone of his pinnacle, you would think they'd be egotistical and wouldn't really want to like talk that much.
Right.
But this guy, when I was at Strange Music headquarters, I was sitting down on their couch, right? And I was, fixing up my camera, getting ready for the Unconventional Kings. And this dude just sits next to me. And like, again, we've built more consistent communication. But this Tech Nine just sits next to me, casual, not even considering that he's insanely popular and has a whole entire empire. He just sits next to me, a 17-year-old videographer, and starts talking to me about, just life. And he, one of the most humbling experiences was whenever I was at one of their shoots filming BTS. Tech Nine, they got Hawaiian Bros. Then they had like this teriyaki chicken. So I went into the conference room where there's a big table, and I was just eating my teriyaki chicken. There goes Tech Nine sitting down next to me, started eating, talking about his wedding that's coming up. And I mean, it's just, he's so, he's there.
Yeah.
He's not up here, he's there.
That's cool.
And not a lot of people are like that when they're in his
Especially
industry.
at his status. Yeah.
His status.
Yeah.
And like I said, they welcomed you with open arms beyond what I ever imagined.
Because it's probably hard for him, he probably gets, not necessarily harassed, but I mean, kind of, by anywhere he goes. I mean, it's not like if Tech Nine walks in the room, you don't know that's Tech Nine.
Oh, and they know him because he's told me. He's told me personally. Yeah. Like, he literally cannot say no to a selfie. Like, it's not in his heart. Like, he has to answer people's questions, and he has to take selfies when they ask.
It's probably hard though.
Like,
think about how much time
he feels
loses.
Bad when he doesn't.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a different breed, man.
Yeah,
he
that's
is a different breed.
Tech Nine is a different breed.
I mean, I would feel like after a while, it's like, yeah, you want to, but like, damn, like you think about it, you're like, how much time am I losing? Like, yeah, I love my fans, but I mean, that dude, I doubt can walk anywhere without, probably 50 people bothering him, if not more.
Again, I've seen this firsthand.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That's cool, dude. That's cool. I'm glad he's and I've seen he's getting into fitness a lot too lately.
And we're in the talks.
Yeah.
We're in the talks about Tech Nine getting one of his first official pro fitness videos.
That's dope.
Done by me.
Oh, nice.
So we're definitely looking forward to that.
That's cool, dude. Yeah, that's good, man. Because the more we can promote stuff like that, and especially, guys, like Tech Nine, people that look up to, those figures, it's like, it's very positive. It's very good. You know what I mean? Because I feel like for a long time, people just idolize so much bad shit. It'd be nice to bring some light, instead of always going out and drinking and doing all this crazy shit. It's like, be healthy too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
moderation.
That's been my life. That's been my life in a nutshell. Like, I've never fit in with people my age. I've never done the things that necessarily, stupid things that necessarily someone my age would do.
That's good.
I'm not going around, screwing around, drinking, smoking, doing drugs, having parties until 4 a.m. I mean, there's certain times where I can have some fun, but I haven't been negatively influenced because I surround myself with very specific genre of people who know what they want in their life and they're ready to pursue it. At the same time, they have the capability to lay back a little bit, have a fun time, but not to the point where I can damage myself and do things that normally kids my age would be doing. I'm thinking about my future.
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
Work now so then I can actually enjoy myself with my family later instead of working all the time. Like, I've already built something. Now it's time to give it to someone. It's time to let someone into this world I've built for myself. And I'm ready to offer anything that you need. A family, kids, whatever. I have stability. I don't have to be working paycheck to paycheck when I have a family and then worrying about when's the next time we can, get a good meal.
Right.
Like, I will have something for them already built up that normally people are still working by the time they're 40s. They don't even have a cent saved.
Yeah.
Because people don't know how to save specifically. They don't know how to prepare for the future because our brains are, like, I guess, programmed to think about now.
Yeah.
Like, right now, let's do this now. They're never thinking about the future. And that's one thing my grandpa, he's good about thinking about the future. So,
well, it's hard too now. A lot things are getting really expensive. It's getting really hard, to live. You go try to find a $500 apartment a month. Good luck. Everything's like, from what I'm hearing, like $1,000 and up. So
it's bad.
It's hard.
The
so
cost of living is bad.
Yeah,
and the wages have not changed.
Oh, I know. And I always recommend if you've got a good home that you're at with your parents, stay there as long as you can and save up, because that's about the only way that you can get anywhere right now.
And that's an opportunity not everyone has.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely taking advantage of the fact, and not taking for granted, but taking advantage to use this as a stepping stone. Like, I have this foundation now.
Yeah.
I can use this home that I have with my grandparents to keep myself stable, not have to worry about, paying the light bill every month, the rent coming in, and then car payments and this and that. Like, it all builds up, but I have the opportunity to build something now and save now. So when it does come time to spread my wings and fly away, I have strong enough wings to be able to carry myself without having to, worry about paycheck to paycheck.
That's awesome. And then they want that for you too as
well. They
know?
want me.
That's awesome.
Well, that's one thing about Italian families.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Their kids will be staying with them till they're in their 20s, 30s sometimes. Like, it's just this relationship that, like, It's just it's still your little babies.
That's how it should be, though. I get tired of hearing, "Oh, once they're 18, I'm kicking them out." Why? Why? So they can go fall on their face and do all the mistakes you probably did? Like
give them something to fall back on for now.
And there's a balance. You can't you got to create something to where they still are progressing into an adulthood and not just living a kid for the next 10 years until they're 30. You know what I mean?
Then that leads to problems in itself.
Then they're really not ready. But, there's a balance on that. But you just don't kick them out and just let them
push them out of the nest, let them go fly, but they have something to land back on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to. There's got to be a place for them to come back for sure. But, no, that's awesome, man. It sounds like you've got it. I mean, you've got a lot of stuff figured out, man. And that's really good, especially at your age, to be zeroed in and focused on what you're trying to do, especially for your company.
What I love. I mean, Termini Media isn't just a brand; it's my heart.
That's awesome.
And the reason I called it Termini Media is because I'm representing my grandfather's heritage. I want to bring out my Italian in me. Like, I'm literally wearing everything Italian right now. But it's more than just where he's from. It's who I am.
Yeah.
And I want to show that off because. Why not?
Yeah.
It's my trait, and I want to differentiate myself from other videographers. I'm not saying necessarily this is a bad thing, but other videographers seem to mask who they really are to gain a following, to gain clientele.
They don't want to rub anybody wrong. They want to be
Me, on the other hand, I am an honest, straightforward dude. Like, you either like me or you don't.
Yeah, that's cool.
So far, everyone's liked me. So, I'm all about honesty, straightforward, getting the job done, and most of my clients end up becoming friends.
Yeah.
Because I'm that kind of person.
Yeah. Hey, it sounds like, I say stick to that path. Be true, be genuine, be who you are, man. I mean, you're going to find people along the road that are going to be assholes, but just let them pass. Keep sticking to you, man. And at some point you've already found really right now much success doing that. So just stay on that road. Don't let anybody pull you off of that. So Joseph, I appreciate you coming on. Definitely everybody check out, Termini Media. It's what are you on, Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm not really on Facebook.
No.
I'm actually going to start
TikTok?
expanding on there. I do have TikTok, and really, I'm not on TikTok much either. I've been focusing so hard on Instagram.
Yeah.
But Instagram is Termini_media, and my TikTok's Termini.media, and Facebook's in the works. So.
Yeah. Do you have a website yet or no?
No. My Instagram seems to be the website.
Pretty much. I mean, that's what I use.
Maybe when I get more popular and things start getting to the point where I need to have like something to schedule consistently, like an online platform to schedule my clients.
Right.
Then that's when a website would come in handy. But right now I'm just handling it on my own, and I don't see the benefit of spending $300, $400 a year on a website when everything anyone's ever going to look at's on my Instagram.
Yeah, don't grow too fast. You know what I mean? It sounds like you got a pretty good rate right now. Just you'll know whenever you're like, okay, I got to make some changes.
Yeah, this is getting a little too much.
But no, man, I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on, and you're definitely welcome back anytime you want to come on.
I appreciate you, and we'll definitely be in touch about some future endeavors that we'll definitely have coming down the line. We could talk about that and get into some nitty gritty details on my work and my future and all that.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks again.
Appreciate you.